So in a real classic move by Amazon, I got sent the wrong knife. And sometimes that's a problem. But when you have a YouTube channel, before you return something and get the proper item, you can actually do a quick review on it, an unboxing as it were. But I didn't do the unboxing. It appears Amazon did the unboxing because it came like with this floating in the box, and then the package looked like that. But anyway, this knife is fascinating to me. It's fascinating because it's ridiculously well done and at a price point that just doesn't feel like it should even be real. So let's go ahead and talk about this knife made by Ganzo. Okay, so the model for this knife is the F753M1, and don't worry, I'll put that down below. And I ordered a completely different knife. This one comes in at a grand total of $21 and change. $21 and change. And there are things on this knife that I think many more expensive knives just fail to get right. First of all, it came perfectly centered. It has an axis style lock with kind of a ridiculous action, if I might say so myself. Sorry, it's hard in this angle. And the spring tension, I think, has much better strength than many of the crossbar style locks that I have played with in the past. The other thing is a lot of knives, even twice this expensive, are using steels like 8CR. This is 440C. 440C, which is kind of similar to the 9CR18 MOV like they do in the Praxis, is a very, it's a very good steel for a budget steel. Much, much better than the 8CR. So this is coming in basically below the price point for steels that are, well, very much inferior. And on top of that, if you look around, even the edges have been properly chamfered, something that I sometimes don't get in more expensive knives. And G10, not FRN or injection molded plastic. These even have hollowed out steel liners, it appears, inside. And it even has a place for the pocket clip to, like an insert right there, with recessed screws. Like this is really well done. I hate to say it, but this is really, really well done for $22. Let's say $22. So real quick, since I have it, how big is this blade? So the blade comes in a little over 3¼ inches. It's nice. It even has that, it's rarely reminiscent of the swedge that you see on the Benchmade 940 and 945. But the nice thing is this is technically a kind of a unique design. I mean, it's a generic knife, right? It's kind of a generic shape, a little drop point, and it just works. Like when I think about, letting somebody know, hey, should I spend $200 or $200 on a Benchmade? Well, if you've never used an axis lock before, maybe this is a great stepping stone. Maybe you fall in love with it, and then you go and you buy a Hogue, and you go buy a Benchmade, and there's a bunch of other makers that use crossbar style locks as well. This is a really cool way to introduce yourself to this style of lock. I don't know what to complain about here. There's really nothing to complain about. It's relatively comfortable, which shocks me. The action is really good. There's no up and down play, no side to side play. It's on bearings, not washers. It's drop shut if you open up the bar all the way. It has really good, not detents, not the proper word. It really has good spring retention. See, it's pulling itself back. Yeah, all the way from there. So it's not going to open up accidentally either. This is really well done. I'm kind of curious. I like the style that I ordered. I think I'm going to like a little bit more, but I'm still really impressed by this. I know a couple of people, and one of the people that turned me on to this brand and this category was the Knife Beater. If you've never seen his channel, it's awesome, reviewing a lot of different knives, especially in the budget realm. And it feels like, and this is the second Ganzo that I've held, that Ganzo is really good at emulating things embarrassingly well. This is another example of a Ganzo knife. I got this for $12, okay? $12, and it's designed to emulate the Bird series knives. It even has like drop shut action. Also in 440C for $12 with that really tried and true geometry. Clones. These are clones. Well, this one's not. This is actually just a generic shape. I haven't seen any others by the major manufacturers in this shape. But you can see that they're trying to tap into successful designs already. I mean, this one, the Delica basic shape, has been around for a long time. Obviously, you've seen the Bird series, but the funny thing is that even though that was designed to be a clone, like on purpose, it's still coming in at like $35, with an 8CR blade. And this is 440C at like, I think it's currently $15. It's kind of ridiculous, right? Love them or hate them, Ganzo is doing a damn good job. And I think the crazy thing about budget knives is that they used to be bad. They used to be really, really bad. And like you would get them and you're like, wow, I really should get a better knife. This doesn't feel like that. And like this one, neither one do actually, but this one especially does not feel like all that much of a compromise to me. And in truth, even 440C is a pretty darn good steel. And I've seen this like tested on other channels that do actual cut edge retention testing, and the heat treatment that Ganzo does on 440C is actually well within the spec. Like it actually performs on par with many of the other 440C blades as far as the testing that I have seen. That's a very, very good sign. And for someone to just get something inexpensive to add to their everyday carry that gives them the same fidget factor as a knife 5 times its cost, kind of amazing, really. This one, because its spring is so strong, you really have to pull the bar back to flick it open. But yeah, it's very, very nice. And yes, I can reverse flick as well. I like it. I mean, it's embarrassingly good for this price point. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. It is, however, so just so we know, T8 construction here, T6s look the rest of the way. But, I mean, come on, they even went ahead and did some recessed screws. Look, if you can get this at $22, right, there's no excuse for other brands to not use, recessed screws. It's just a nice thing, and it slides in nicely in the pocket. Is this a perfect pocket clip? No. In fact, I would very much like the placement to shift this way just a little bit more if I'm being nitpicky here. But other than that, yeah, I mean, it's really, really impressive for the $22 that it was. Thanks for your time. Not much more to say here. I'm going to review also the Ganzo that I'm getting in replacement. But as far as this model is concerned, the F753M1, it's pretty good. Pretty good. At least the knife wasn't damaged. Thanks again.